Ciao, my loves. This is Gemma with your May full moon and lunar eclipse reading. Before I get started in their reading, you can find additional resources to this full moon in the link below under Cosmic Sync, which will have a full moon meditation for you, as well as booking options, and of course, a link to my Patreon page where you can subscribe for deeper esoteric and spiritual practices such as Svara Yoga, which attunes cosmic energies through specific yogic practices to help unfold higher consciousness, as well as make your actions and intentions a lot more empowered and impactful. It's also great practice in terms of alchemical work and for spell work. All right, let's get started. First and foremost, before we deep dive into this, there is a lot of planetary interplay that is happening on the back end. So I'm not going to only just dive into this full moon, but I'm also going to talk a lot about Saturn working in retrograde because it's working double time as it is in retrograde. The Saturnian energies are really strong. We're also in a very transformational Saturnian impacted year. And also this full moon is really bringing a lot to head in terms of manifestation within the inner being and will play heavily on emotions and will reflect back from January and December to January in terms of the mental and emotional body becoming strengthened and fortified. So a lot is occurring in this lunation and this eclipse. Let's get into it. This moon and lunar eclipse will be a spark of lightning from the depths of the unknown. It is both the Tower and the World card in tarot. Sudden shifts to bring completion and awakened fulfillment. Intuition will be lit, and the energy is ripe to find divine within current realities. This moon will illuminate how we create our own liberation from within, the moment and what is in existence. So how are we creating from each moment to moment and what is currently within our realm of existence? This eclipse will reflect the eclipse from December 14th, 2020. It will bring into light the depths and the worries, concerns, and aspects of desire from that period. It is a very revealing lunar eclipse occurring in Scorpio. Now, again, this is Vedic Astrology. There is a lot that will be uncovered. The very nature will show secrets revealed and will call upon greater opening within the collective consciousness as it pertains to materialization of the self from the self. So yes, eclipses typically reveal a lot. Scorpio's very nature is hidden within. But this eclipse is not so much about what is your external. It's really calling on you to go deeper within and understand how you are creating moment to moment and how you are creating from what is currently around you. So it's going to uncover a lot of hidden gifts for a lot of you. I wanted to point out that a lot of healers will rise to the next level. I've also been shown that not only will awakening of intuition and collective consciousness emerge from another level, but again, there's a heavy interplay of emotions and relations. So a lot of you are going to discover how your emotions and belief systems are impacting your moment-to-moment reality and what karmic cycle needs to end. This is very important. The new moon ended a karmic cycle for many of you, and it is beginning a new karmic wheel. So this lunation, this full moon in May, is going to bring a lot up to surface and what might be additionally carried. The moon will eclipse in Saturn's nakshatra of Anuradha. This is in Scorpio. And with Saturn in retrograde in its own sign, it marks a heavy unveiling of illusion. There's a strong mercurial energy occurring on the back end, and this mercurial energy simply is the aim to create harmony, peace, and to stabilize the depths of being. The themes that challenged your security will naturally be brought to light. Really think about what occurred for you in December of last year, and those things are coming to light to be wrapped up and to be recreated. so security and insecurities might be playing through for many of you. It will also reveal what order and stability must be altered to achieve liberation and harmony within the inner self. And order in terms of creating structure, what type of stability you find with your own sense of being and not the external, how you show up and create discipline and stability. And I also want to point out anything that is in order and stability that is not becoming on your next journey or your next evolution, or that was established from a previous karmic sense of being, sense of self-reliance, or not self-reliance, but self-awareness. So if you thought, oh, I have to do this in order to show up this way for these, and it's from a sense of lack, those things will have to be recreated and will break down. They will be restructured. As I mentioned in the new moon, be mindful of creating conflict and unnecessary stirring. Now, you can refer back to the new moon reading. I will include the link in the description below, but it is still relevant because each lunation peels back another level and develops. There's always refractoring energy or reflection energy. This new moon will still help you understand how things are going to unfold for you during this lunation. This is a natural, unconscious effect of loosening energy that lies within current structures of relations and manifestations. Do not cause conflict. If you do, what's happening is it's causing this like loosening of that resistance of breaking away what's currently in structure. Be mindful with your words. Remember, Mars is in Gemini's house, and there's still a strong position. It can create a lot of endings from verbalization. It can also create endings into new wisdom and the expansion of the heart. Choose your fire wisely. Choose to either create a battle or choose to awaken and understand. Remember, fire is transformational. How you wield it is completely up to you. Either way, I want to point out, there is no wrong way. You will still be guided the way you're supposed to be going. The way your evolution will continue to unfold as it is intended for you. You can just choose a little bit more harmonious ride or not. An important aspect of this lunation is the placement that shows, it's really going to show unconditional love. There's a lot of divine feminine energy that is unfolding, and I'll get into that a little bit later, but Saturn, in essence, is non-conditioned. It is working how to alter manifestation is known from the inner self and reveal what lies beyond our prescribed thoughts, our rehearsed paradigms. So this unconditional nature is really, this energy is pushing us to move beyond time, space, reality. And this is where a lot of karmas will come to an end. The full moon lunar eclipse will pull Saturn's influence to show inner restrictions and the outer implications of those restrictions. Anything that stands against the fullness of love, the fullness of who you are, and the fullness of your expression and understanding truth will come to a head and be revealed. And I want you to understand, when I say come to a head, nothing is happening against you. It's arising from underneath, or remember that scorpion energy. It's arising within you to create the change. It's a creative realization within and from the self that will work and rework beyond the mind and the realms of time. This offers an immense healing and transformative potential to recreate the self, recreate your world, recreate your desires, to be boundless and rooted in love. An important aspect of this lunation will play on relationships. There will be mirroring and the ability to see what projections are being mirrored throughout all relationships. An important aspect to note is any longing outside oneself will show here. Either the needing from another, or needing for conditions to be a specific way, or aspects to be a certain way in order to define love, to define inner self or the outer world. All of this will arise. Be gentle and graceful with yourself, and also be open to see and not judge or hold on to anything. So all of these stirring energies will further awaken what is being created within relationship structures within the self. Again, relationship, not only of external relationships, are always mirrored from your inner relationship, your inner way of seeing who and how you are in this world. And that's relationships in terms of how you show up in business, in family dynamics and friend dynamics and romantic dynamics. And also, most importantly, the relationship within the self will start to be shown. The self-love, divine love, and how we see others in our created reality is going to play into this full moon and this lunation. This placement offers revelations through many ways of relating. It will work to open up and purify that leads the individual and the collective as a whole to greater harmony, which is our natural state. This energy will start to stir the collective into a higher consciousness. My loves, harness your power. This eclipse possesses such strong Kundalini energy that's stirring within the earth Kundalini energy and our collective consciousness. So what is within you is also arising around you. This Kundalini is a powerful and incredible healing, electrifying, magnetic energy. It also is going to mark the way inner potentials will be fed by divine Shakti. So the more you allow to flow through you will hold nothing, the more creative essence and divine Shakti will start to recreate within you. I do want to say that because of this eclipse lunation, many of you that are more sensitive or you have a strong Saturn placement, specific placements with your Rahu or your nodes, any strong Scorpio placement within your charts is going to, you might have physical electrifying sensations. Your sleep patterns might be off. Like, these things are natural, especially when it's such a deep and intense energy that is arising. Be mindful on how you allocate your energy. Your inner resources will come into light. Many of you will experience stark shifts in consciousness, and personal resolve will be challenged so that you can discern what truly matters. So your BS meter is strong. It was strong in the new moon, and it's going to show you now, okay, well, this matters, this doesn't matter. I want to create order and stability around this and not around this. Many of you, depending on where your chart lands and what your personal chart is, this can be different aspects from business, from health, from relationships. And the sense of boundaries, it's not so much bounding yourself against love because it's awakening the unifying love, but binding yourself against what withholds you from love, what perceptions, what judgments, what actions, having to prove yourself or having to be proved or acknowledged by another person. Those are all mechanisms that withhold you from divine grace. Be one with all of the experiences, allow them to flow through you, and understand that co-creation is collaboration, and they are just fleeting in time, space, reality, and everyone and everything is evolving. Remember, everything is always working for you and is arising through you, drawn to you. This lunation will bring that into the forefront. Okay. There's a lot going on. I really want to point out that any turmoil that you have internally must be managed. Honestly, anything that is turmoil that's occurring, it's because you might have an aspect of your truth that is not being owned. This is going to be showing leading into the full moon. So if you are reading this or listening to this before the full moon, you might have this stirring before this eclipse. And also eclipses have an energy that lasts up to months or a month after. So be mindful that these turmoils are asking you to own your truth. Another aspect of Saturn is to be in line with divine truth, your Dharma. This is going to transmute anything that is moving through you, any conflict, inner or outer, transmute it with love. This full moon eclipse is reflective of December 14th, 2020 eclipse. And again, it's going to complete a cycle. It's going to illuminate any mental impressions at that time and offer immense healing. This is timeless healing, meaning that the ability to reorientate your memories, your experiences, and anything that might have impressed upon you that is affecting your current experience or your sense of being and awareness will come up. It's time to recreate, not from what was, not from what is, because from what is still the past, but it is where you are going. Create your resources now based on where you are going. Set your sights on a higher aspect. Saturn will break away delusions. And that means also anything that holds you and binds you in a space that is not flowing, is not in divine love, that is not in service, that is not focused on something beyond time, space, reality, beyond the here and now, but actually beyond the all-encompassing. Mars is going to have a special role in this Saturn heavy eclipse. It's going to reflect your relationships. It's also going to offer a bond that is beyond time. So Mars is going to carry forward courage and wisdom into action. It's important that you channel this Martian energy and dive deep. Remember, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And the energy here that he has been working on is really for us to uncover and to take that courage and go beyond what's comfortable, to go into the very depths and the recesses of ourselves. And so we can come back with the gem of who we are and the truth of this. It's important to note that the planetary placements are heavily emphasizing heaven on earth in real time. It means the higher planes of existence into earthly life. Many eclipses are going to have sudden shifts, but with Mars and Saturn's influence here, there will be tower moments to awaken the self and bring forth more fulfilling embodiment, more self and creative power, more fulfilling relating within life, within interpersonal relationship and external relationship. So whatever is breaking away, allow it to break away, because more fulfillment is on the horizon, and it's going to be fulfillment within self. And so the external is, and how it is naturally going to fulfill you and feel more whole. So you can recreate and garner all of the fullness in life and the experiences of who you are and who you are becoming. Lastly, this scorpionic position in the full moon is going to have regenerative abilities for latent qualities. That means any past life gifts, anything from the past is going to have regenerate and come through. There's also a strong emphasis on the siddhis, which are psychic and higher powers. For many of you, there is a numeric correspondence that keeps occurring, keep being shown. It's the 6th. So not only the 6th sense, but a inner relationship of how we give and take, and also seeing beyond, seeing the interplay of energy is going to be shown. I want to note that you're being asked to go beyond the sensory reality. That means not what's tangible, what you can see, sense, smell, that. Go into the 6th sense, go beyond the sensory and tap into the feeling and the knowing. This is really going to be illuminated for so many of you. Collectively, this is awakening higher senses and consciousness. Saturn's influence is going to show service beyond what's seen, beyond the external. This will spiritualize and awaken unconditional self. Saturn's nature is going to show inner realization that creates in our outer manifestation. This eclipse is going to aid in breaking down barriers against full potential, personal abilities, and divine love. When Saturn goes retrograde, it's going to make the Saturnian forces stronger. Peel back layers, peel back illusion, peel back obstructions in the pursuit of your truth and your higher purpose and understanding. Create order and discipline around the service of who you are and who you are becoming. For the future, do not serve the past. Now, the placement of Saturn's retrograde is also going to be an important note because it is in Shravana, which is owned by the moon. And this is really heavily marking silence. And it is a point of silence that precipitates manifestation. So that moment of rest before things come into materiality is really, really, the energy is so heavily. That is, again, the in-between. Before it is in 4D, before it is in 3D, it is in 5D. That's that place. This lunation is awakening not from form, but what form symbolizes. So if you can go beyond what is seen, beyond the senses, then you will start to awaken and evolve and realize within the self the higher aspects of your manifestation processes, creative potential, and truly your divine godliness. You are the creator, and in your creative abilities and recognition, you will see and feel your conscious evolution. This is how divine is bringing heaven on earth through the self. Allow divine love to be the source. And let me emphasize, assimilation is key. Assimilate on all levels. Assimilate what serves you and transforms you. Do not hold on to anything, but stay steadfast in who you are becoming and what needs to move through you. And if you don't know, stay steadfast in the feeling of love and joy, self-love. This will transmute. This is the highest form of alchemy, is love. And not only that, but it will help assimilate the higher workings of your inner potential outward without overthinking it. Lastly, Scorpio's hidden meaning here is the unseen realms and the energy within creative power before form and embodying that form. When this is understood, the energy of this eclipse will work to unfold the potency of that Kundalini energy I spoke about, of the divine feminine and the higher potentials that are within. And it's going to start to bring forward an understanding of the mentality and the vibrations beyond form. This is a deeper esoteric practice. These are deeper esoteric understandings. It's going to see the energy before it manifests, essentially. And you're going to see the self beyond desire and beyond the personality, or what we cling to ourselves in terms of, you should like me because I'm like this, or I'm like this, so I'm worthy. All of that is BS. It's going to show you the unconditional, the truth that lives within, essentially pure consciousness. The experiencer of the experiences, the creator and the creation itself. Come closer to unconditional love. This eclipse will move you towards that phase. If you are not embracing yourself in your wholeness, it's a great time to break it open. The eclipse will warp us beyond time, and at this point it's going to reconcile past and future from within. It's going to dispel ignorance that you hold against your truth. And again, be mindful of the emotions. They will ebb and flow for quite some time leading into it and also after it. It's going to help you understand how emotion is the powerhouse of your creative abilities. And it's also going to show you how emotion may be tethered to your karmic past. Use it for your advantage. Again, wield your forces with consciousness. Emotions is the element of water. It will carry, and it's the universal cohesion. It's going to carry things forward from the past, or it's allowing to be renewed. And I encourage you to allow things to be renewed. Get focused on your personal goals, your plans, get organized, get clear at this time. All of these things are helping you. Allow it to flow through you. Allow the mind to release any blocks of seeking and unrealistic expectations. Anything that is unrealistic expectations will be shown. Hold nothing, and know that all shades of emotions and thoughts are leading you back to the self and truth. You must exercise equanimity at this point. Sorrow and happiness must be treated as the same, only different spectrums of flow of energy. Remember to see beyond expectations so you may learn from disappointments. Wherever there is attachment, equanimity must be applied. Sending you all so much love. If you want to read this reading in full, I will include the blog link below, or again, visit the Cosmic Sync link, which will have the blog listed as well. Until the next lunation in June, sending you so much love, and be sure to follow me on Instagram, and hopefully you will join my Patreon membership and be a part of the Cosmic Co-Creation. Much love. Ciao, ciao.